Welcome back to TalkersandGeeks.com. Justin here. Today we have another anime review, and boy, is it a doozy. We are going to be reviewing Sword Art Online, the movie progressive Aria of a Starless Night. That is a long title, and it's going to hit theaters December 3rd. A big thank you to Funimation and Sony for giving us a screener for this film. And as always, I give everybody a brief synopsis. So here we go. This is a tale of a time before a lightning flash and a black swordsman were known by those names. The day that she happened to don the NerveGear, Asuna was a third-year middle school student who never even touched an online game before. On November 6, 2022, the world's first VR MMORPG, Sword Art Online, is officially launched. But the players still euphoric over having logged in suddenly find themselves trapped inside the game when the game master deprives them of any way to log out. The game master then gives them this warning: this may be a game, but it's not something you'll play. If a player dies in the game, they die in the real world. Hearing this, all of the players panic and pandemonium reigns. One of those players is Asuna, but despite not yet knowing the rules of this world, she sets off to conquer the floating iron castle, whose peak is too high to be seen. And as the days go by in this world where death is never very far away, she has a fateful encounter and then a parting. Though she's at the mercy of reality before her eyes, Asuna fights on with all her might until someone appears before her, an aloof swordsman. And I'm not sure if you can hear this applause, but I'll give it a round of applause myself. Man, was this so good. Like for me, I did not check out SAO until now, actually. When it was at its height of popularity, I didn't catch it. I skipped it. And when I read the synopsis of this movie and I was talking to people, they were like, hey, it's kind of feels like this type of a prequel to the film. And I mean, to the whole entire series. And if you've never watched Sword Art Online, this is a great hell of an introduction, not only into the world, but into these two characters. I enjoyed the hell out of this film. There is some really good, and I think what made me like this very much more is that compared to, I guess, some of the episodes where I heard some of my friends say, it's like, yeah, it gets a little bit of harem from time to time, but this one was mainly only focusing on Asuna, and it was so much better for it. We got really more of a backstory, really get to see, like, I'm not sure, I haven't seen the series yet, so I'm not going to compare it to the series, but just from this introduction alone, you have a girl who's in middle school who puts a lot of pressure on herself because of her overbearing mother who wants nothing but the absolute best. And at times, you really feel that insecurity, like she's just trying to live up to the parents' expectations. So she's constantly getting straight A's and putting herself on these pressures. And one of her gaming friends, Mito, is like, "Look, you gotta learn how to take a break. Come out with me, play games. Like, let's log on to this new VR MMORPG, Sword Art Online." And when that happens, this movie really takes off, and we really get to see a development between Mito and Asuna, and it's a great character study between these two girls. I love the way they bond together, but then something happens which I'm not going to spoil, which was so effed up. But I get why it happened, but it's so effed up, and you just like, and that's where the emotional beats of this story really kick off, and you really get to see more of this character study of how vicious this world is, especially when your whole life is literally on the line, because if you die in the game, you're done. Like, you're done in the real world. And I love how they explain the NerveGear, and it actually gives a reason for the reason why it's NerveGear. Like I said, I haven't seen a show and I haven't read the manga, so I'm pretty sure it's explored more deeply in the show. But for someone who this is his introduction into it, this was like, I'm definitely gonna watch the show after this because this was so freaking good. Just the way they did the character study on Asuna, and just and the way the world was built, and the way there's some real tense moments here. There is gonna be, if you're gonna see this in theaters, there is this moment that happens in the one action battle where a certain character appears. I guarantee you, if you're going to see this in theaters, that is the moment that you're gonna get, and I'm gonna use wrestling terms here. You're gonna get the biggest pop that theater is going to get out of their seats. The anime fans, the Sword Art Online fans are going to jump out of their seats for that particular appearance. It's a hell of an introduction. It's a hell of a battle, and when that character pops up and saves the day, it's like, yeah. I mean, I haven't even watched the show, but I did play the Galgun game, so even so I know who that character is. So I even popped. It's like, oh, that's fire. That was excellent. Voice acting, I saw this in English dub. Also had the option for the Japanese dub. I watched it in both. Both are spectacular performances, and I think even English dub. What I loved about the English dub is that the actors played this really, really straight. It's an anime, but the way the voice is delivered, the way the acting is delivered, it feels like a live action performance. Like you really feel these characters. It's a very straight, grounded type of a performance and it's crazy for this type of anime, fantasy type of anime, to see such a grounded performance in it is something I really, really enjoyed. I am both English and Japanese dub. I saw them both, and I just gotta say kudos. It looks great. Now, how is the animation in this? As you can see from the trailer here, the movie looks gorgeous, man. But Sword Art Online always has some really great animation, but it's really up the ante with this production level here, from the cinematography to the way the landscapes look, and of course the music. It really does feel like an RPG game, and that's what makes this so good, is that this really brought me in, and it really made me immerse in this world and actually want more. And the way it ends, it makes you go like, okay, I gotta watch this series, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So overall, this was a hell of a movie. If you have never watched Sword Art Online, I would say start with this and then go to the series or the manga. This was one hell of an introduction and the story encounter, like the synopsis says, between the Lightning Flash and the Black Swordsman. One hell of an encounter. Great character studies all around. I am a big fan of Asuna now, because she kicks freaking ass, man. Like this girl, this characterization, giving her more time to breathe. Like I said, I'm not sure how it is in the series, but her really getting to be the forefront and more of a character study on her. I enjoyed the hell out of this. If I'm gonna give this a rating, this is a must see. Go see this in theaters if you're an anime fan, especially if you're a Sword Art Online fan. 4.5 out of 5 stars. This was spectacular all the way through. I enjoyed the hell out of this. I'm definitely gonna watch this now and see more of this. I definitely gotta check this out. This is Justin from otakusthegeeks.com saying later days. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you're watching this on YouTube. You can follow us on all social media channels: Instagram at otakusthegeeks, Twitter.com/otakusthegeeks, Facebook.com/otakusthegeeksblog, and Twitch.tv/otakusgeeks. Later days. Catch you on the next review. Definitely go see this one. This is a hell of an experience. Peace.